Walk will take it across the timeline, guarded by Hurd. Drives to his left side, beats his defender, backs up, fading away. Good! That may be a dagger. 59-54 with 1:08 left. Braden Walk coming alive in the overtime period.
Buffalo's basketball is on the air. Mountain View High School is ready to lead the charge in the 2019-2020 season.
Down low in the blocks, draws contact, and it falls. Lindy Herford back to the line to tie it.
Catch it all on your home for Bridger Valley Basketball, mylocalradio.com. Mountain View Basketball is brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, the Come On In of Casper, West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Plains Tire, Wyoming Dental Specialties, Trona Valley Community Federal Credit Union, The Store, and Blacks Fork Dental. Now, Buffs fans, it's time to head to the booth to join the play-by-play voice of the Bridger Valley, Jake Hibbard.
As far as games added to the schedule on the fly go, this is as good as it gets. The number one team in 1A and the defending state champions, Cokeville, well, they host Mountain View, ranked number 2 in 3A. The last time these two met, we went to double overtime. Cokeville took victory away from the Buffs on Mountain View's home court. Now in Cokeville, Mountain View would love to flip the script. It's interclassification basketball on a Thursday night. Jake Hibbard here to bring you the action. We'll return with the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show next.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. In addition to our cleanup and restoration services, we also offer new construction and remodeling. We can help with a newer kitchen, bathroom, a garage, deck, or a new addition to your home. We provide accurate, itemized estimates with no hidden fees or extra charges, and we complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Call us today at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction bringing you pregame coverage here tonight. Water damage, mold, fire, and more. Sawyer's is there for you. Call 307-741-7000 or visit wyodisastercleanup.com. The JV, it's actually the freshman Mountain View girls versus the JV Cokeville Panthers are in the final 23 seconds of action here in the fourth period, and it's a tight game with Cokeville holding a 2-point advantage on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. But as we take our first look for the upcoming varsity contest, that's brought to you by Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. We'll start first by taking a look at the tail of the tape by the numbers. Cokeville and Mountain View, as we mentioned, it played once prior. That was a double overtime game that we'll get into a little bit later. But an 11-1 record for Cokeville and 10-4 for Mountain View means two things for these teams. Well, the same thing for both of them separately. They're really good in their separate classifications. Cokeville just had an article run on them in the wildpreps.com website that says they're the team to beat in 1A, and it's quite honestly hard to bet against the Cokeville Panthers, which won both volleyball and basketball state titles last year, and it looks like they are primed to do the same. They already took care of the volleyball side back in the fall, going back-to-back in that, and in basketball, looking very strong and getting healthier in some spots while still dealing with injuries in other. The shooting percentage of Cokeville and Mountain View on a straight field goal percentage gives a 2-point advantage to the Mountain View Buffs. But as we look at the three-pointers tried, not only is Mountain View converting at about 5 percentage points higher, they're taking more three-pointers. On the season, Mountain View's drained 43 of 155 attempts. Cokeville shot just 76 and made 17. So the outside game certainly advantaged Mountain View, and that was the case the last time they played for the entire game. Haley Stevens lit it up with 24 points in that contest, that 66-60 double overtime final. And Kylie Dellinger followed with 13. Kylie Dellinger had 12, actually. There was no Casey Bugis in that game. She is coming off the bench tonight in a 6-man role. And Bugis, Casey, is here some games and not others as far as her shooting goes. However, every single game she brings athleticism and speed defensively. And she's a big point and a big player to have for the Mountain View Buffs on both sides of the basketball. For Cokeville, they've had some injuries going back to the last time they played and then coming back to now today, January 30th, 2020. Camille Nate was the leading scorer for Cokeville in their state championship last year, but she was out with we'll hear from Coach Tykert a little bit later. Well, she had some tendon issues that needed to be tended to in her ankle, so she sat. And as she's come back last week, conditioning has been a bit of an issue. She's now played in 3 games for Cokeville, but Coach Tykert says she can play a minute here and then has to sit for 3, and they're waiting to get her back. Nonetheless, in those 3 games, she's averaging 9 points and 5 rebounds. So that brings a big offensive scorer that can get it up to maybe 15, 16 a game at full strength going down the stretch of the conference and regional state tournament season. Now as they get one player back, they lose an emerging player in Riley Tykert. She was averaging 11 points per game. She's out on crutches with a sprained ankle and is done for at least until regionals. And so that's going to be a big loss for Cokeville, but they do get a senior leader. For Mountain View, they're looking pretty healthy. They've had some illnesses going around, and that may be continuing, but for the most part, looking pretty good. Leading scorer for Cokeville on the season, Emmy Barnes at 14.5 points per game. Haley Stevens at 15 for the Mountain View Buffs. Camille Nate in those 3 games has already reestablished herself as the 5'9 senior post as a rebounding tear at 5.5 per game. Bailey Henstra, the 6-foot junior, leads the way for Mountain View. We talked about that 66-60 final for Mountain View and Cokeville the last time they played. That was on December 13th at the Bridger Valley Invitational. And we mentioned Riley Tykert, who's not playing today. Well, she was the player, as Mountain View certainly held the advantage from beyond the arc. Haley Stevens finished with 3 triples in the game. Jada Kennison had 2 for Cokeville. They did not hit a 3-pointer the entire first half or second half until the final buzzer sounded, and it was Riley Tykert coming away with a shot that sent it to overtime from beyond the arc. Let's go back to December 13th and watch how that game got to overtime the last time these 2 teams were out on the court. 50-47 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville has Riley Tykert inbounding. Dayton closest to the ball. Hannah Tykert at the free throw line. Let's see, here comes the screen to open up Dayton. Well, she's not open. Instead, it's to the right corner. And for 3, Riley Tykert. At the end, it falls at the buzzer. A 3-ball counts, and Cokeville ties it up. As we mentioned, Cokeville had not hit a 3-pointer that entire second half, first 3 quarters and 7/8. It wasn't until the final 3 seconds when Riley Tykert hit what would be the only triple of the game for Cokeville. Mountain View had made 5 prior, but after that tied it up at 50 all. We went to single overtime, and in that first overtime period, both teams scored 7, mostly coming off of free throws. So we headed to another overtime period where finally Cokeville would prevail, getting a 6-point advantage over Mountain View and coming away victorious. As Cokeville had some close scares. Their only loss so far came to Grace, Idaho, but Mountain View certainly trying to spoil their home court for Cokeville, just as Cokeville spoiled Mountain View's home court about a month and a half ago. That's your first look, brought to you by Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness, 24-hour towing fitness center that never closes, as well as home and auto glass repair, and so much more. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. We will continue the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show next and talk to the coaches in tonight's game next on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's in Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Welcome back to the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show located in Lyman, Wyoming. Sawyer's is there for you in the Bridger Valley and far, far beyond, whether that's Utah, southwestern Wyoming, Idaho, really anywhere in the extended area. Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction, the people you want to call when things go lopsided and you need your stuff back to looking new. We talked about the scores for Mountain View a lot with Haley Stevens, 24 points in that loss to Cokeville. Kylie Dellinger second on the list with 12. And then the other player in double digits was actually the freshman Jada Kennison, who hit 2 of the 5 3-pointers in that game for Mountain View. For Cokeville, they had 13 points by Kylie Dayton in that win. They have those 66 points, and so 13 points leading the way. That means the ball was spread around, and that's what we expect to see. We had 8 players score in that contest for Cokeville. The other player to get into double digits was Riley Tykert, who had 4 points going into that final shot where she hit the 3. She really lit it up with 6 more points in the 2 overtime periods to tie the scoring lead for Cokeville with 13. Now let's take a break and come back in just a bit with head coach of the Cokeville Panthers, Brian Tykert, on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company specializes in fire damage restoration, mold inspection, remediation and testing, flood cleanup, and biohazardous cleanup services. We complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Safety is our highest priority, and once we've completed your job, we ensure your home or business will again be a safe place to occupy. Call me, Chase, at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's in Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Back here at Cokeville High School, about 8.5 minutes on the clock, the pregame clock that is, before we put 8 minutes up and start this one up. It's a girls-only contest today, no boys, so just one game for you here today. And because of that, no chance to get the boys sponsors in. To heck with that. We are going to, since there's no conflicts, we're going to recognize our boys sponsors as well as our girls sponsors, so everyone gets in tonight, because we do appreciate anyone in the Bridger Valley or wherever they are coming from, Evanston or beyond, helping you bring these games to you tonight. The starting lineups will be brought to you by Blacks Fork Timber, and we'll hear from them after we hear from Bryant Teichert, head coach of the Cokeville Panthers right now.
Bryant Teichert joins me, head coach of the Cokeville Lady Panthers. The last time that Mountain View and Cokeville took the court, it was a double overtime game and a great way to start off the season. Since then, you've gone 11-1. You finally lost a game last week to Grace, Idaho, 55-48, but you came back and won big in conference games over Saratoga and Encampment. Describe to me your past week and how those games went for you.
Well, the Grace game went into overtime. It was a very close game. It was a one-point ball game at the half. It was tied 35-35 at the end of the third quarter. And at the end of the fourth quarter, it was 46-46. And then they outscored us 9-2 in the overtime. We just made some silly mistakes and then had to foul, and they were great foul shooters. So anyway, it was a good game for us. Then the two conference games, the teams in our conference, those two teams struggled against us. So that's kind of how it went. They weren't a real good competition.
Back to that double overtime game last time. We'll get into the personnel of who's in and who's out from that game ago in just a bit, but that was a fun start to this season, and it seems to have springboarded your team into a coming off a very successful year last year, of course, with that state championship. Jumped you into what's been a successful season again so far. What do you remember about drawing up that last play as you went in to get that three-pointer for Riley Teichert?
Well, I was trying to draw up a play different than that, and then the girls seemed to be a little confused, and then I finally said, hey, we're just going to run this play that we've practiced a lot. We run this, so we're just going to run this play. And we ran it, and it worked. It was one we've always used, and I was trying to do something different instead of just doing what we do.
I remember you called a timeout, and then that timeout expired, and you called another timeout, so that must have been the reason for that.
Yes. So, yeah, just the girls seemed confused still when it was time to go on the floor, and I go, hey, scratch that. I thought I can further do, and it just hit me. We got to play. We just run the play we got.
Well, the last time I saw you in uniform was that game, and Camille Nate was in a boot, and I didn't know how long she'd be out, but you tell me she came back this past weekend, so that's got to be a good jump up to your team.
Well, yes, but she's in terrible condition. She could only play a minute and a half stretch, no longer than a minute and a half, and only 3 minutes per quarter, and she about died, even at that. So she's just, she's in that thing since state volleyball until a couple of weeks ago, and so her conditioning still isn't very good. So she'll be playing, but not a lot.
And I didn't see when that injury occurred. I just saw her when she was hurt. What happened with
Well,
her?
It's actually stretched some real problems with some torn tendons and ligaments in her foot. And she actually, most of the volleyball season, she's so determined to play that she wore a boot all day long and then would go to practice and games and play. But then at the end of the season, she's had a problem with this since clear last year. She went to the doctor, and he said, you've got to just stay off of this thing and I can't remember the exact time, but it turned out to be until after the first of the year. And then so since the first of the year, then she's been able to start working and going. But last week was the first week she was able to play.
And unfortunately for you, the girl who hit that three-pointer, Riley Teichert, you tell me now she's injured. What's the severity of that?
Yes. She's got a stress fracture in her foot. She came out, hobbled up in the tournament right after Christmas when we were over at Kemmer. And so then she was out, and her first action will be at the regional tournament.
Oh, my goodness. So you guys are just hoping to get healthy at the right time.
Yes. Yeah. And then another big girl, our tallest girl that played fairly effectively against you there at Mountain View. She's injured too. She sprained her ankle. Demi Harmon.
Okay.
Number 44, and she did fairly well.
Well, Coach, good luck as you're trying to get healthy throughout this season, and we're excited to see another contest between Mountain View and Cokeville. Coach Bryant Teichert, thank you very much.
Yep, you bet.
And we heard about that. I misspoke. It's Riley Teichert with a stress fracture. Demi Harmon, the player, sitting with the sprained ankle, is black and blue, but I'm told she could play tonight. 6-foot junior. She played in the JV freshman game just a bit ago, so she could be out there. The starters, as we mentioned, brought to you by Black's Fork Timber. Haley Stevens, Emily Bugis, Kylie Dellinger, Sadie Mitchell, and Bailey Henstra, the starters for Mountain View. Now for Cokeville, the starters are, as I've been told, Kylie Dayton, Emmy Barnes, Emma Teichert, Camille Nate, and Lily Richardson. We will make any amendments as they happen, if there are any. But we're about 3 minutes away from the start of game time. Let's continue the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show now with head coach of the Mountain View Buffs.
Jess Moretti joins me after a week of conference play. You get a impromptu added game against Cokeville this Thursday. How did this game come to be?
We actually ended up dropping a game with Manila, Utah. They're a little bit down, and so our JV team is going to end up playing them next month. And so we had a game to give, and Cokeville missed out on a game with the weather cancellation, and so it just worked out in our favor to be able to get this game together this week.
And it brings back a matchup that went to double overtime last time. A great game to start off the season at the Bridger Valley Invitational. Going back to that game, what do you think that Cokeville can offer you in the middle of a season?
They like to run, and they do a really good job at pushing sideline break. And so it's something that we need to continue to get better at, which I think that we have been. Our defense, I think we started out the season at number 14, and then this week we made the top 5 in defense in 3A, and so we've been working really hard at that. And so this is one of those things we need to go back to and make sure that we're doing what we need to in our defensive transition and taking care of those transition baskets and not letting them happen.
Numbers aren't always the best indicators of exactly how a team's playing, but that number is a pretty big improvement. What have you seen tangibly on the court change with your team?
We're more disciplined, in defense and just understanding. I think just the positioning and where they're supposed to be, and part of that is a big communication. In our first couple tournaments out, there wasn't hardly anybody talking. I think being that young team right off the bat and trying to figure out roles and where kids fit in, and feeling like those younger kids can speak up even though they're younger, and still be a leader. And so I think that has been one big thing too. So between the communication and being more disciplined, and of course we've done several and lots of drills since Christmas break, to make sure that we are taking care of the defense.
What were your thoughts on last week's conference meetings as you got that portion of the season started?
I thought it was a great start for us. I knew going into it, Pinedale, they're a great team, and that's a team that we've been looking at since last year as a team that's going to be coming on. Just knowing the kids that they have returning, knowing what they did last year, and then knowing that they have a good freshman class coming in. And so they have a lot of kids to offer, some good stuff. And so we knew we had to be ready for that. I was a little bit nervous. Bailey Henstra's been sick with the flu for about a week now. And then Sadie was also sick last week. So I wasn't, so that makes you nervous when you got both of your bigs not all on the up, but we managed to take care of that, and so that was a great start for us. And as far as Big Piney goes, they're another program that's coming around, but we ended up having a big win against them and controlling that game.
Well, we'll be excited to see how this game goes against Cokeville. They're two teams that match up pretty well against each other. Coach Moretti, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction, the pregame show sponsor, and we sure appreciate them bringing that to you. We will take a 30-second break and come back with the opening tip in the first quarter. That'll be brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company has helped thousands of people put their homes, businesses, and lives back together after a fire, flood, storm, or other disastrous event. We work with all insurance companies, and we work for you by being professional, fair, and honest. Our certified technicians are trained in every aspect of restoration, so we can complete each project in a fast and satisfactory way. Call us today, 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Starting lineups one more time, brought to you by Black's Fork Lumber in Mountain View, and the Mountain View Buffs in the black jerseys. Haley Stevens set to tip off against Lily Richardson. Haley Stevens, Kylie Dellinger, Sadie Mitchell, Bailey Henstra, and Casey make that Emily Bugus the starters for Mountain View. Tip is up and won by Haley Stevens. Lily Richardson, the aforementioned jumper for Cokeville, the home team, in their white jerseys, red numerals and lettering across the top of the jerseys, including some red striping across the shoulders. Three ball tried by Stevens. She misses the opening shot of the game, and it has Kylie Dayton up ahead, running forward to Emmy Barnes. In transition, the shot is missed. Camille Nate on the putback attempt missed as well. Sadie Mitchell gets pushed from behind. No foul call there. Emmy Barnes was the offender, but it's all clean, and it stays with Cokeville. Emmy Barnes, the inbounder for Cokeville. Emma Tykert, the other starter for Cokeville to round out those Blacks Fork Timber starting lineups. First quarter brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor. Again, we're bringing you all of our sponsors today since this is a girls-only contest. Free throw line shot missed by Barnes for Cokeville. Rebound Mountain View. Haley Stevens takes it, puts it in transition, then throws ahead to Sadie Mitchell. She grabs it at the top of the key, works to her right, guarded, spinning around against Tykert. Hands off to Dellinger, who goes to Emily Bugus. Then to Mitchell on the left corner to the free throw line. Stops, hands off to Dellinger. Weave around for Mountain View. Sets up a three ball by Emily Bugus. She misses it off the handle. Rebounded by Nate. Camille Nate's only played 3 games so far this year, but averaging about 5.5 rebounds, and expect those numbers to continue to rise for Nate, both in the rebounding and point total. She's about 9 points, maybe a little bit more than that, and about 5.3 rebounds. Last year, she was about a 15 and 10 player. Out to the left side, it's the basketball to Barnes. Swing around to the right side. Tykert has it on the right wing. 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter, brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor and Cokeville, with a 0-0 score against Mountain View. Working the ball inside. Camille Nate gets the ball at the free throw line, drives into her left, and lays it in. 2-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville scores first in this contest. This is an interclassification matchup. Mountain View at 3A, of course. Cokeville at 1A, but 1 and 2 are the rankings. Stevens misses a shot, gets her own rebound, misses a three-footer, gets her own rebound again. Drives in on the handoff to Dellinger. She'll go off the glass and miss. The free throw, the field goal percentage low. It's sitting at 0 for Mountain View on 4 shots so far. Nate has it at the three-point line, looks down low to Richardson. She was being fronted by Stevens. Haley grabs the ball, and it's tied up. Jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Cokeville. 5:49, the clock stopped on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bridger Valley Motor first quarter, 780-3280, the number to call if you ever need a lift 24/7. Located in Lyman, that's Glade Erickson's cell phone number at Bridger Valley Motor. Bounce pass from Dayton goes off the foot of Emily Bugus. She was planted, so it's not a kickball violation. Comes up with the basketball, throws ahead to Stevens. She runs with it, called for a travel, and turns it over on, well, no, hold on. There was a foul before that, a reach-in foul, the first of the game, and it's against Cokeville on Dayton. So, no, Emma Tykert picks up her first foul. Inbound to Mountain View. Sadie Mitchell looking down low to Stevens. She was double-teamed, and the ball right into the hands of Tykert. Emma up ahead, still with the ball on the right wing. 5:26 left in the first quarter. 2-0 score, Cokeville on top of Mountain View. Emmy Barnes with the basketball, hands off to Dayton. Kylie Dayton, the shortest player on a Cokeville team that, despite being a 1A squad, has pretty good height all the way around. 5'3" is Kylie Dayton. The rest of the lineup is at least 5'8", 5'9", or 6 foot if you go down to the bench. Demi Harmon, but Emmy Barnes, Emma Tykert, both listed at 5'8". Camille Nate and Lily Richardson, both listed at 5'9". That's good enough to match Mountain View's height. Bailey Henstra, the tallest, at 6 foot. Throw into the post. Henstra could not quite come up with the basketball. Instead, picked up by Barnes. Throws over to the right side into the game. Tana Tykert pretty quickly has the basketball, and she gives it to Emma Tykert. Goes down low, looking for Richardson. Babbles off her hands, never quite had a hold of it, and it's out of bounds on the baseline, back to Mountain View. Richardson calls and says that was all on me on the pass from Tykert, and she's replaced on the court now by number 40, Harley Harmon, the 5'8" junior. Harmon playing in the post, guarding Henstra. Stevens trying to go coast to coast, gets fouled as she rises in the lane and headed to the line for 2 shots, trying to tie it here. Haley Stevens on the season at the free throw line, sitting at 67%. Haley Stevens is, as we mentioned, a 67% free throw shooter as she makes her first. On the season, she's not leading the way. No, she is. She's just barely in the lead at 52 free throws attempted. Sadie Mitchell next on that line at 44, and then Bailey Henstra at 43 attempts. Stevens makes both of them, and we're sitting at 2-2 tie game on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. As a team, Mountain View continues to improve their free throw shooting, up from a couple of weeks ago at about 52%. They've risen at about 6 points to 58, and that's helped along Bailey Henstra's slowly getting some improvement at the free throw line. She's actually up to 40%, which is an improvement. She was sitting in the low 30s. Cokeville basketball moving from right to left. Cokeville, the home team in the white jersey. Nate at the free throw line. Bounce pass over to Barnes. She steps through against Stevens, and rejection by Henstra into the hands of Haley Stevens. Bounce pass to Dellinger. Halfway through the Bridger Valley Motor first period, and Cokeville and Mountain View tied here in an interclassification Thursday night. Stevens has the pass from Dellinger at the left corner. Gives it back to Kylie at the wing, then up top to Emily Bugus. We have not seen a substitution for Mountain View yet, but it's coming at the next dead ball. Casey Bugus will check in sooner rather than later. Kylie Dayton has the basketball, throws up ahead to Harmon, and she was pushed from behind. Basketball will stay with Cokeville. It's a foul on the ground. And the foul is against number 1. That's Haley Stevens, her first. Dayton throws it inside to Barnes. She turns around against Henstra, and a foul called against Bailey. 2-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. To the free throw line goes Emmy Barnes. She's a 67% free throw shooter as well, 26 of 39 coming into the week. Both Cokeville and Mountain View 2-0 on the conference season as Barnes hits her first free throw. 3-2 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Second shot is up, hits once off the handle and then falls through the twine. 4-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View got the Sublette County teams, Pinedale and Big Piney. Cokeville with wins over Encampment. Ball to Mountain View. Casey Bugus has it on the left wing. Throws down to Mitchell. It's out of bounds. And last touched, I think, by Dayton. Encampment and Saratoga the wins for Cokeville after the 55-48 overtime loss against Grace earlier in the week. That was Cokeville's first loss of the season. Casey Bugas has the basketball, spins around into the lane, turns around out to the right corner. Dellinger finds Henstra open on the blocks. Beat Camille Nate, and Bailey Henstra has her first two on the assist by Kylie Dellinger. Good play for Mountain View, and it's tied back up 4-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Turnaround shot and in for Harmon on the other end. Cokeville up 6-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Haley Stevens has it, gives off to Mitchell, quickly back to Haley. Casey Bugas drives from the right wing to the low blocks on the left side. Throws back up top to Henstra, then to Stevens on the right side. Haley backing up, has Emma Teichert guarding her about 5 feet away. Closes the gap just a little bit to get the 5-second clock ticking. Then Henstra gives off to Casey Bugas on the left side. And a foul off the ball goes against Mountain View on Bailey Henstra. No, it's not against Henstra. Hold up, no foul. I think it was just out of bounds. That last shot was not made by Harmon. It was Camille Nate on the make there. So she has 4, and it's 6-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A travel called against Cokeville by Dayton. Turns it back over. Back to Mountain View. They trail 6-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kylie Dellinger comes in to inbound to Haley Stevens. 2:05 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first period. Down to 2 minutes left as they take it across. Dellinger looks down low to Stevens. She jump stops in the lane and puts it up. Tie game once again. Haley Stevens with 4 in the contest. Emma Teichert has it for Cokeville. She'll drive baseline on the right side, bounce it to Harmon. Spins around, heavy body into Haley Stevens. And the foul called against Haley, her first. No, her second if it's against Haley. So hold on, the call is called against number 5, Sadie Mitchell. As Haley did look straight up and down. No surprise there then, I suppose. That the foul is against a different player. Mitchell with her first. First free throw missed, as is the second. An 0-for-2 trip by Harmon. Mitchell on the rebound. Mountain View basketball. On the other way, Haley Stevens drives in, gets back to the free throw line. She's aggressive today, drawing the contact against Emmy Barnes. Second trip to the free throw line for Haley, trying to make things happen for her team. We expected a tight one. We're getting a tight one so far between Cokeville and Mountain View. 6-6, now 7-6 after the free throw make by Haley. 1:38 left in the first period. That brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. Second period will be brought to you by Reese Auto Services, in the fourth by Big Country Properties. Just a 1 of 2 trip by Stevens, but the rebound goes into the hands of Sadie Mitchell. Stays Mountain View's way on the right side of the court. Kylie Dellinger swings around to the right wing. Mitchell weighing her options, passes to the top with Emily Bugas. We've got Emily to Casey Bugas. She gets a screen out left side on the wing. Stevens for a 3, misses a little bit long. Emmy Barnes had the board, got accosted by Casey Bugas, and that's a foul. Foul number 4 against Mountain View. First on Casey, the 6th man for this team. She started about half the games, maybe a little bit more than half the games since returning. Coming off the bench today, but certainly heavy in the rotation with Bailey Henstra out and Sadie Mitchell playing in the 5. A throw into the post is picked off. Sadie Mitchell on the steal, gives it away to Casey Bugas, then to the top of the key. Haley Stevens throws right wing to Dellinger. Looking for options into the post. Both Stevens and Bugas flashed in. Instead, it's to the top of the key where Mitchell gives off to Emily Bugas. She'll work with her left hand over to the wing and give it off to Haley Stevens. Stevens puts the rock onto the ground. 44 seconds left in Cokeville. This is a different sort of scoreboard that I'm used to. There's no tenths of a second. It's just an old style 36, 35, no 36.8. So when it hits 0, it hits 0. Stevens swings around to the right side. Casey Bugas has it just outside the three-point line. Crosses over to her left, then hands off to Emily. Screens around for her sister. Then to Sadie Mitchell at the top of the key. Down to 20 seconds left. Mountain View being methodical here late in the quarter, sitting at a 1-point advantage. Throw down to Casey Bugas from Stevens. She's fouled, and a travel, never mind, takes away what could have been a couple of free throws. Bugas walked with it. Cokeville was already lining up at the free throw line, as was Mountain View on the left side. We had 2 players for each side, and the referee had to correct that and say, no, it was a travel. Cokeville basketball. Dayton has it for the Panthers. Looking down, she's guarded tightly by Bugus. Just gets it away to Barnes. Tosses up high, and the buzzer sounds as the pass was looking for Dayton. 7-6 at the end of one quarter. Haley Stevens has 5 of those points for Mountain View. Camille Nate with 4 for Cokeville. 1 point differential on the Benedict's Market and True Value board at the end of the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Reese Auto Service second period next. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Second quarter action brought to you by Reese Auto Service has Mountain View with the basketball up by 1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Sadie Mitchell, or Dellinger rather, looks down low to Bailey Henstra, and the ball is off her hands and out of bounds on the baseline. Turnover starting the quarter for Mountain View, gives it away to Cokeville. Cokeville, the home team, and sitting at 11-1 in their season and 2-0 in the 1A Southwest Conference. Bounce pass to Harmon, then to Nate, turns around, shot up off the glass and good. Camille Nate with 6 points in the contest for Cokeville. Leading all scorers, second on that list is Haley Stevens for Mountain View with 5. Stevens has the basketball, tosses over to the right side to Emily Bugus. Starting 5 back out there for both teams. Throw to the right corner, it's Stevens with it, looking to Henstra, then to Dellinger instead. Toss to the left side. On the court, Emily Bugus drives through, beats her man, and is tripped up in the lane going up for a layup. Foul on Emmy Barnes is at least her second, I believe. Maybe just her first. No, she was the offender on the last foul, so she picks up her second. 45 seconds into the Reese Auto Service second period. We do not see a substitution coming to the bench for Cokeville after the second foul is picked up by Barnes. Emily Bugus misses on her first free throw attempt. Mountain View trailing Cokeville by 1 point. Emily, a 55% free throw shooter. 11 of 21 on the season. Makes her second, goes to 12 of 22. And that's math for someone better than me, but is right in the neighborhood of 55%. Dayton to Harmon on the right side. Here came Harmon, but not in for Emily Barnes. She stays out onto the court with 2 fouls. Dayton has the basketball, working around to the right side, guarded by Bugus. 5-second clock's ticking. She looks to her left, finds Barnes. 1 minute gone by in the Reese Auto Service second period. Any engine, small or large, Reese Auto Service in Lyman is there for you to work on it, get it working right, and fix it up. Barnes over to the left corner. Harmon works around to her right to the top of the key. 1 minute, 30 seconds gone by in the second period. Dayton to Barnes, guarded by Stevens, out to Dayton. She'll look down low to Nate, 1 step, guarded by Henstra. 8 points for Camille Nate, and she is controlling this game for Cokeville. 10-8 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View would like to continue to improve that field free throw percentage. We mentioned they've gotten it up to 58%, but missed free throws today are the difference in this score. Mountain View's missed 2 free throws. They trail by 2. Sadie Mitchell has her pocket picked by Harley Harmon. Tries to take it coast to coast, cannot. Rebound missed by Kylie Dayton. Haley Stevens comes up with the second rebound, and it's Mountain View basketball. Working from left to right. Up ahead to Henstra from Dellinger. She misses the point-blank shot. Too hard off the glass. The ball rolls off the foot of Dellinger as Camille Nate was trying to move it forward, so it stays with Cokeville. 10-8 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Dayton with the basketball, working across the timeline with Emily Bugus on her. 3 ball tried from the right side. Barnes misses it. Henstra can't hold the rebound. Camille Nate opened up, and she is into double digits, 10 points in the contest. And Cokeville's taking the largest lead of the game for either side. A 4-point advantage, 12-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mitchell backs up, hands off to Dellinger, crosses over to the left, into the blocks, out to Stevens on the left corner, spins through a double team, turns around and puts it in. Haley Stevens showing that next level talent. 12-10 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Barnes has the basketball for Cokeville to the elbow on the right side. Harmon fires it to Dayton. She thinks about a three, throws into the post, intended for Camille Nate, but Bailey Henstra was fronting her. Emily Bugas gets a little lazy on a pass, looking for Stevens. It's picked up by Barnes. 4:50 left in the second period, brought to you by Reese Auto Service. And Dayton with the basketball at the top of the key. Works to her left, crosses over right side. Emily Bugas repays the favor, comes away with the steal. She'll hold up on the right wing, wait for the rest of her offense to come in. Stevens flashes into the post. Bugas fires it to her in a 6-foot turnaround shot. Haley Stevens going to work and keeping Mountain View in the contest. Starting to look just a little bit winded after that make, though. Haley has not had a break yet today. 4:25 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. It's 12-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emma Tykert into the game. Throws over left side to Emmy Barnes. 4:14 left in the quarter and first half. Harmon open for three on the corner, but passes it up. Barnes takes it on the wing. Working against Stevens. Goes through her leg, crosses over to the right, and then back to the left. Throws back to Harley Harmon. 4 minutes left in the Reese Auto Service second. Dayton takes the basketball on the right wing. Bugas backing up a few feet on her. She passes over to Barnes. Tykert guarded tightly by Dellinger to the free throw line, 15 feet away out to the right side. Dayton fakes a three on the right corner and then gives it back to Tykert. Looking down low into the post, Camille Nate is overthrown and Haley Stevens keeps it from going out of bounds. Comes away with a turnover for Mountain View. Moving from left to right, Stevens with the basketball against Tykert. Passes over to the right corner, Bugas has the basketball. Fake down to the post, then Dellinger wide open at the top of the key, misses long on a three ball. Stevens corrals the basketball, boxing it out, but Dayton steals away the pass as Stevens was kind of looking away. Pass to Tykert, the layup's good. Assist by Dayton, a 2-on-1 advantage against Haley Stevens, and it's 14-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A whistle blown and a timeout taken by Mountain View. They trail by 2 in the Reese Auto Service second period. 3:12 left in the first half. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on mylocalradio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
14-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. That's a Cokeville lead here over Mountain View. Mountain View at 10-4 on the season. Cokeville at 11-1. Both getting a break from conference play at the moment. Mountain View won't resume until next Friday when they take on Lyman. They'll play Saturday against another 1A opponent, Saratoga. Cokeville on the defensive side. Mountain View has Haley Stevens giving off to Emily Bugas, going from left to right on the dial. Up high, dribble from Dellinger. She fires out right side. Stop and pop on the drive in. Haley Stevens converts and has another great offensive game brewing today. She scored 24 points last time Cokeville and Mountain View did battle back on December 13th. That was that double overtime contest. Cokeville came away with the victory, 66-60. That was on Mountain View's home court, the Bridger Valley Invitational. Tana Tykert into the game for Cokeville. Emma Tykert skips it to the left side to Harley Harmon. 2:28 left in the Reese Auto Service second. Spin around on the block shot. Lily Richardson shoots over Bailey Henstra in the first two of the game for Lily Richardson. Puts Mountain View down 2 more points. 16-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Sadie Mitchell hands off to Dellinger. She drives in, stops, The shot just misses from 3 feet away, but she's at the line for 2, drawing contact against Richardson. Now Lily picks up her first. She's sat quite a bit today for Cokeville. And maybe coming back out. Emmy Barnes goes to the scorer's table to check in for Cokeville. Casey Bugis into the game for Mountain View, replacing Bailey Henstra. Harley Harmon, the player, replaced for Cokeville, so Richardson does stay in. 2:10 left. First free throw missed by Kylie. Looking to get the second in. She cannot. Rebound ripped down out of the air by Tykert. Dellinger tries to fight for it to keep it in play and does. Takes away the pass of Dayton and then knocks it off of the hands of Kylie. That being Kylie Dayton. So Kylie Dellinger forces the turnover and is back to Mountain View. Baseline inbound for Dellinger. Looking for Stevens, going from block to block. Line drive pass to Bugis. She's tripped up by Richardson, who picks up a quick second foul. Lily Richardson entered the game about a minute ago with no foul. She now has 2. 16-14 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View basketball, left side baseline inbound. Stevens takes it baseline against Emma Tykert. Spins around and drops it in. Her offense is unconscious here in the first half. 8 points in the quarter, 13 in the game. Dayton trying to go coast to coast herself and does. Stops in the lane. Found a wide open kind of bubble of defenders around her. No one really taking control of that play. So Dayton, she adds 2 more. 18-16, Cokeville lead on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bugis to Bugis at the top of the key. Casey drives against Lily. Free throw line shot by Casey was quick up but misses. Rebound on the ground, last touch by Richardson, stays with Mountain View. 1:26 left in the first half. Second quarter action brought to you by Reese Auto Service. Haley Stevens with the near side inbound. Throws a bounce pass to Dellinger. She bobbles it. Never put the ball on the ground prior to that, so she was able to keep dribbling. Over right side, Stevens tries a 3. Mountain View looking for their first triple of the game still. Not happening so far. Richardson's on the run. Topped by Stevens, a jump ball called. Possession arrow stays with Cokeville. Camille Nate into the game for Cokeville. We mentioned Camille Nate. She was a setter and an all-around superstar for those state championship Cokeville volleyball teams. Same goes for the basketball. She was the leading returning scorer from a year ago, but started the basketball season in a boot. Stop and throw it up on the inbound from Dellinger from distance. She misses long. Rebound Cokeville, though. Dayton has the basketball for the Cokeville Panthers. Up 2 with 1 minute to play in the first half. Lower scoring affairs so far than what we had the last time these two teams played. Barnes drives in, left side, misses against Mitchell. Bugis can't control the rebound, so it goes back to Cokeville. Turnaround, Barnes misses again. Mitchell had the board and pushed out of bounds. It's last touch by Cokeville. However, we had a lot of scoring in that, of course, double overtime adds 16 points for Cokeville and 10 points for Mountain View, but it was 22-13. Mountain View leading Cokeville at the end of the first half the last time these teams played back on December 13th. 18-16 the score here today. Dellinger with the basketball, 25 seconds left. Cokeville up by 2. Dellinger has it after the pass from Henstra. Poked out by Barnes. Dellinger recollects and walks with it. Whoa, it goes uncalled. A big no call there, but it leads to a turnover nonetheless. Nate steps past Henstra and throws it in for 2 more. Camille Nate with 12 in the quarter, leading all scorers except for Stevens, and Haley pops one in on the left elbow as the buzzer sounds. 2 more points for Mountain View. They trail by 2 at the half. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points for Haley Stevens in the quarter, 15 in the game already. 12 points for Camille Nate for Cokeville, and a 20-18 overall score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com. Halftime coverage up next.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we know our members by name and we love working with them face-to-face. But did you know that members can also handle almost all banking online? Everything from managing your accounts and paying bills to applying for all types of loans. It's simple and we're happy to help you get started. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Halftime here in Cokeville, and the score is 20-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View trailing the homestanding Cokeville Panthers. Cokeville at 11-1 on the season, Mountain View at 10-4. And as the WildPreps.com coaches and media poll rankings go, we've got two of the top teams in the state doing battle here on a Thursday night. The number one team in 1A is Cokeville, and Mountain View's ranked number 2 in 3A behind just Douglas, the two-time defending state champions, and there is no shame in being ranked just behind them. Douglas was unanimous, there's the word I was looking for, a unanimous number 1, as they have been just about all season long. Mountain View very close to being a unanimous number 2. The only other team to receive second place votes was Lander, which comes in at number 3. They received 2 second place votes. So it goes Douglas, Mountain View, and then Lander. Worland coming in at number 3, and then Lyman at 5 for the second week in a row. Actually make that third week in a row. Lyman's made an appearance. They were tied for 5th 2 weeks back, along with, I think it was Lander. Teams also receiving votes, Torrington, Pinedale, and Thermopolis. In the 1A ranks, Cokeville, a unanimous number 1 off the 8 votes cast. HEM is number 2 and well behind in the number 2. Then you have Little Snake River, some of the usual suspects for multiple sports. HEM and Little Snake River fought for a state title in the 6-man title for the 6-man ranks in football this year. Cokeville, they battled Bighorn in the 1A ranks in football. Football rankings a little bit different than basketball in the state championship in football as well. At number 4, you have Upton, and KC Wyoming is 5th with 15 points, coming off of 1 4th place vote and 3 5th place votes. For the game at hand today, how did we get to 20-18? Well, it's 2 scorers going at it, 1 in the post and 1 point guard who's doing a lot of shooting in the lane in Haley Stevens. Just 3 players have scored for Mountain View, and Emily Bugast is just 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Bailey Henstra has 2. The other 15 of the 18 points come by way of Haley Stevens. She had 10 in the quarter off of 5 made field goals in the second, 15 overall. She hit a 6th field goal back in the first quarter and is 3 of 4 from the free throw line. For Cokeville, as a team, they're sitting 2 of 4 from the free throw line, but it's Camille Nate with 12 points, all off of field goals, and all of them coming from 3 to 4 feet out. That has Cokeville up. 12 points by Nate, and then a litany of 2-pointers by Cokeville. 2 by Kylie Dayton, 2 by Emmy Barnes, 2 by Emma Tykert, and 2 by Lily Richardson. That's the scoring for these two teams. Mountain View's foul count, not too bad. They didn't get into the bonus, neither did Cokeville. And just a couple of players for Cokeville picking up 2 fouls. but it's a tight rotation. Normally sitting at 8, we've seen mostly just 7 play for Cokeville, with Riley Tykert out until probably regionals with the stress fracture in her foot. With her out, that's 11 points per game gone, but Camille Nate playing heavier minutes this week as her conditioning continues to improve. Well, that's been exactly what Cokeville needed. 12 of their 20 points come by way of her, and it gives that post presence that Cokeville has had an advantage over Mountain View in the game today. Let's see if we can get any more diversified scoring for Mountain View. If not, Haley will need to continue her hot shooting. She's been doing it in transition and going to task against taller players in the blocks. If that can continue, we should have a great contest down the third and fourth periods in this. We're about 3.5 minutes away from the start of the third period. We'll take another break here at the half. 20-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board at halftime. Cokeville leads by 2 over Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
Third quarter begins in 90 seconds from now. Just a quick update with another game happening in the MyLocalRadio.com network. Star Valley, this is the girls' contest, a doubleheader in conference action going on tonight in Evanston, Wyoming. Star Valley sits 1 point over Evanston, 14-13 on the board. The 3:21 left in the second period. We'll keep you updated on those games as the boys will come up after that. Probably won't get to the end of that contest before we finish ours here today. 20-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville over Mountain View at the half.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company has helped thousands of people put their homes, businesses, and lives back together after a fire, flood, storm, or other disastrous event. We work with all insurance companies, and we work for you by being professional, fair, and honest. Our certified technicians are trained in every aspect of restoration, so we can complete each project in a fast and satisfactory way. Call us today, 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
Halftime has expired. 8 more minutes put onto the clock here in Cokeville, Wyoming, and the Mountain View Buffs. The Lady Buffs, black jerseys, purple lettering, white numerals against Cokeville, the home team. White jerseys and orange the rest of the way around, whether that's the lettering, numerals, or the stripes on the side or the top of the shoulder blades. Mountain View basketball moving from right to left. Stevens looks down low to Henstra. Can't handle it. Emmy Barnes on the run for Cokeville after the steal. She takes it, gives it off to Richardson, waiting in the wake on the left block, and it's a bank shot good. 22-18 straight out of the break. And start of the second half, Cokeville up by 4. Stevens to the free throw line, finds Mitchell streaking down the baseline. 2 points on the assist by Haley Stevens. Sadie Mitchell on her first bucket of the day, 22-20. Richardson for Cokeville with the basketball on the left wing. Goes to Nate. She tries a short corner shot, overshoots it. Airballed, in fact, and Kylie Dellinger comes away with the rebound. Stevens slowing things up into the half court, moving from right to left on the dial. Over to the right side, handoff to Emily Bugas. Starters for Mountain View in the second half. Stevens on the right corner tries a three. Still short, still no three balls by Mountain View today. They outshot Cokeville from distance last time they played on December 13th, 5-1. Emma Tykert with a 12-foot pull-up, drop it in. She was unguarded. And Tykert has 4 points. As we mentioned, the starters, Dellinger, Emily Bugas, Bailey Henstra, Haley Stevens, and Sadie Mitchell for Mountain View. For Cokeville, Lily Richardson, Emma Tykert, Emmy Barnes, Kylie Dayton, and Camille Nate. Dellinger to Henstra against Nate, and Henstra takes the line drive pass and puts it in from the lane. 4 points for Bailey Henstra. 24-22 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Back to a 2-point differential, Cokeville the leader. Barnes turns around on the pass from Nate, misses. Dellinger handles the rebound. 5'7" junior and Kylie Dellinger passes back to the 5'7" senior, Haley Stevens. She crosses over to the left side against 2 defenders, opens up Mitchell on the corner. She takes it, hands off to Dellinger. Stevens open on the left side. Let's see if she gets the basketball. Does, but the defense came out quickly. Drives into the lane, finds Henstra for an open shot, but misses. Rolled in and out of the hoop. Dayton on the run for Cokeville. Runs into Mitchell. Drops the ball as Mitchell's feet were planted. There's no foul call, and Emily Bugas comes away with a steal. Back Mountain View's way, a 2-point game, 24-22 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emily Bugas hands back to Dayton, fires to the left corner. Mitchell looking for Henstra. Double teamed, Henstra grabs it, turns around, drops it in, and the and one to take a lead upcoming. Shot counts, and the foul against Emma Tykert. It was an interesting decision to throw it to Henstra, the double team, but Henstra's the tallest player out there, and she used her height to grab the pass and then turn around and throw up a little one-handed right shot. Not sure if you'd even call it a baby hook, but the shot dropped and the foul came in, and Henstra converts at the free throw line. It's been a work in progress. Continue to try to get those free throws to go in, and Henstra is slowly rising her percentage as the year goes on. Mountain View with their first lead in some time. They led by 1 point at the end of one quarter, 7-6. A steal by Mountain View in the passing lanes. They get the ball back. Haley Stevens working to her right on the wing. Jump stops, hands back to Bugas. Stop and pop from the three. Distance from the wing as well. And Emily Bugas gets her first field goal. 4 points for Emily Bugas, and the triple has Mountain View up by 2 possessions. Emmy Barnes for Cokeville throws it up to Tana Tykert at the top of the key. 4:45 left in the third quarter. Emmy Barnes tries a triple to respond, and it's good. Well, neither side had hit a three in the first half, and in about 10 seconds, they both get one. So the count's sitting at 1-1. Mountain View basketball up by 1, 28-27. Haley Stevens has it, throws to Mitchell. She gets pushed. Emmy Barnes on the hand check. Have that marked as Emmy Barnes' third foul. 21-17, Star Valley leading Evanston. That's a different game happening on the MyLocalRadio.com network. Also available on SVI Media. 2 steps, Haley Stevens drops it in. She's got her first 2 of the third quarter. 17 points in the game. Mountain View back up, this time by 3 points. 30-27 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kylie Dayton with the basketball. Called for was that a walk or is it an off-the-ball foul? So off the ball, 1-4 on Bailey Henstra, holding on the defense. No, his second foul on Bailey Henstra. Casey Bugas comes in for Kylie Dellinger. They leave Henstra out there with just 2 fouls, not 3. 30-27, Dayton to Tykert. Tan on the wing, down low to Emma and the blocks. Hard off the glass, no good. Harmon on the putback, though, is in. Harley Harmon scores for the first time today. She was 0 for 2 from the free throw line back in the first quarter. As a team, Cokeville sitting at 2 of 4 from the line. Mountain View had Haley Stevens go 3 of 4 in the first quarter as we have a foul come in, sending Casey Bugis to the free throw line for 2 shots. Haley Stevens went 3 of 4 from the line in the first quarter. Emily Bugis and Kylie Dellinger went a combined 1 of 4 in the second quarter, and Henstra's 1 of 1 in the third. Bugis hits her first. And it's 31-29 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View trying to pick up their 11th win of the season. This interconference, they'll be back against Saratoga on Saturday. We will not have that game for you. Casey Bugis drops it in. We're bringing you the doubleheader at 3 o'clock and 4:30 of Lyman versus Wyoming Indian, another interclassification rivalry. Wyoming Indian sitting at number 1 in 2A on the girls and boys, I believe. Camille Nate turns around, puts in an 8-foot baseline shot. That's the biggest distance shot she's made today. 32-31 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Back to Mountain View. Mitchell, elbow shot at the free throw line, rattles in and out. Loose ball rebound picked up by Emmy Barnes. Kylie Dayton across the Cokeville Panthers C. Out to the left side, Richardson battling to keep her both feet on the ground. Up top to Dayton. Thinks about a 3 ball at the top of the key. Down to 3 minutes left in the third period and a 1-point differential. Mountain View on top of Cokeville. 32-31 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Give and go down low. Nate takes Henstra to task and drops it. No, has it pop out. Looked like another sure 2 and would have been points 15 and 16 for Camille. Instead, it's a rebound by Henstra, and Haley Stevens has the basketball for Mountain View. Student section pretty small for Cokeville, but it is Cokeville. It's a small town, but the cheerleaders are trying to pump up the home crowd. Haley Stevens has the basketball, looks left side, catch and shoot. Casey Bugis drops it in for a triple. When she gets going from distance, Casey Bugis has as pretty of a shot as anyone in the 3A classification. 35-31 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, a 4-point lead for Mountain View. Richardson drives to her right, then picks it up, throws left side into the lane. Emmy Barnes tumbles down to the ground and picks the ball back up, hands it off to Camille Nate. The ball was knocked out of the air by Bailey Henstra prior to that foul, causing the loose ball foul in the first place. Foul is called against, is that number 3? Is that against Casey? Looks like the foul is against Bugis, and it's her second. Second team foul as well. Richardson takes the inbound pass at the free throw line, looks back to Dayton. 2 minutes left in the third period. Throw to the left, and a tie-up push foul called against Emily Bugis on Emmy Barnes. Was not in the shooting process. Back to the baseline. 3 fouls for both sides. And for Emily, that's her first, I believe. Has not been put up. They gave it to number 2. There is no number 2. Turnaround shot made and a 2-point differential. Cokeville gets the score. Mountain View basketball. Out to the left side. Bugis wants another 3. It's good! Back-to-back triples made by Casey Bugis. And a 5-point lead opened up for Mountain View over Cokeville. Throw to the left. Up top, Key. Out to the left side. Barnes tries a triple to respond, and she does just that. Cokeville coming alive and keeping pace from beyond the distance just as Mountain View gets their long ball going. 38-36 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Casey Bugis with the basketball. Gives it off to Emily over to the right side. Drive in. Out to the right corner. A triple by Emily is good. Wow, just add them up one after the other. After no 3 balls in the first half, Emily and Casey both have 2. And Cokeville sitting at 2, both by Emmy Barnes. Barnes has 8 points in the quarter. High scoring third, 41-36. Out to 3 for Barnes to try and get a third herself. It misses long. Tykert comes away with the rebound. It bounced once. Then to Kylie Dayton over to the right side. Richardson with the basketball. 41-36, Mountain View on top. Down low, Richardson against Mitchell, overthrows the shot. Dellinger saves it from going out of bounds. Gives it off to Mitchell, who throws ahead to Haley Stevens. 5-point lead for Mountain View, a high dribble. Called double dribble against Stevens, turn it back over. Cokeville's way. Tana Tykert and Harley Harmon check into the game. Camille Nate out, as is Lily Richardson. Cokeville basketball. Kylie Dayton throws to the right side. Emmy Barnes with 8 points in the quarter. Give and go, look low to Harmon. She overshoots it. Tykert at the end of the third misses. And 36 points for Cokeville. They are outscored by Mountain View in the half. 41-36 the score after 3 periods of play. Back with the fourth quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties. After this, on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
An infected tooth can cause discomfort and serious harm to your health. At Wyoming Dental Specialties, endodontist Dr. Leslie Walker understands the complexities removing infected tissues from inside the tooth, which is one reason why you can trust him to provide endodontic treatment and root canal therapy. With a skilled staff and state-of-the-art technology in our office, we help save your smile and improve your overall dental health. Call today to schedule your appointment, 307-789-5608.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Mountain View puts up 23 points in the quarter, just 16 for Cokeville. Outscored them by 7 and lead by 5 heading into the Big Country Properties fourth period. BigCountryProperties.com, the website to visit to see all the photos and listings, both Uinta and Lincoln County. Cokeville basketball out of the break. Emma Tykert with a miss. Kylie Dellinger on the board and running with it. Slows up, back to Casey Bugis. Wing three is up, misses long though. Kylie Dayton with the board. She's got numbers up ahead, overthrows Harley Harmon and out of bounds. Back to Mountain View. Mountain View was beat on that play, and a lighter pass catches Harley Harmon in stride, and they probably get an open layup to cut the lead down to 3 points. Instead, it's back to Mountain View. Bugis was wide open for that wing three, and she hit 2 in that third period. It was a good shot. That was the right decision. An 8-point quarter for Casey Bugis led the way for Mountain View. Emmy Barnes had 8 in the quarter for Cokeville. Turnover on the Mountain View side, back to Cokeville. Baseline inbound on the far side. Tana Tykert gives it to Dayton. Dayton throws to the right side. Barnes with the basketball. Drives right against Stevens. Backs up. Misses short. Casey Bugis comes out of thin air and grabs the board away from Tana Tykert. 41-36. We had a high-scoring third period. It was basically the points at halftime. They went ahead and scored that many in the third quarter alone to get us to where we are now. Stevens drives in, misses, is topped after the rebound and fouled from behind by Dayton. Haley Stevens 3 of 4 from the free throw line today. She had 15 points at the half, just 2 in the third period, though, as Casey and Emily Bugis did the lion's share of the scoring. Bailey Henstra also had 5, and Sadie Mitchell put a 2 in. Stevens goes 4 of 5 from the line, makes her first. 42-36, Big Country Properties fourth period. Broker Bobby Dalzall, part of the #1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley, with properties both in Uinta and Lincoln County. 2-2 trip by Stevens, pushes the lead up to 7 points, a high of the game for either side. Mountain View 43, Cokeville 36. Jump ball called as Dellinger tied up the basketball. Near side inbound for Emmy Barnes. Slaps the ball, throws down low to Tykert. Had a layup, it's missed. Loose ball board and a foul called against Cokeville. It's on Tana Tykert. She got the hand of Haley Stevens because she tumbled down to the ground. We've seen Tykert, Harmon, and that's it. Tana Tykert and Harley Harmon have really been the only bench players for Cokeville today, and it's been a tight rotation for Mountain View as well. We've had Casey Bugis come off the bench, and that is it. No Jada Kennison today, as she'll usually be the next player off the bench after that, as Mountain View ran about 10, 11 players at the beginning of the season and slowly whittled that down. Free throw line extended triple by Haley. She's still 0-4 from distance. 43-36 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville basketball out to the right side. Tykert to Harmon at the top of the key. Looks down low to Tana Tykert. And it was a deflected pass out of the air. Stevens on the run against Harley. Stops off the glass. Foul drawn, and it's drawn against Haley Stevens. Harley Harmon draws the charge. For Haley, that's just number 2. 43-36 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville moving from left to right. Dayton has the pass knocked out of the air. Picked up still by Barnes, though. Down into the blocks. Nate against Mitchell. Works around. Mitchell was straight up and down. Allowed Nate to get a little space, and she scores for the first time this quarter. Has 16 in the game to lead Cokeville. 43-38 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View working from right to left. A Dellinger screen has Stevens working around to the left corner. Tana Tykert on her. Passes back to Casey Bugis. Spins around. Drives in. Hands back to Stevens. Haley has not had the range from long distance today, but the mid-range has been pretty good. She tries another one from the left hash mark, just in front of the elbow. Misses it. Dayton on the run on the Cokeville side. Jump ball called. Possession back to Mountain View. Hold up, no, I saw 2 fingers in the air. That was my mistake. It's a foul against Emily Bugis instead. And in the process of shooting is the call. Dayton to the free throw line. 5th team foul. Just the first against Emily Bugis. Dayton misses her first. Kylie Dayton back to the free throw line. Try one more. 69% free throw shooter. As a team, Cokeville sits at 51. They haven't shot a free throw since the first quarter. And Dayton goes 1 of 2. 3 of 6 in the game from the line is Cokeville, and it's 43-39 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Haley Stevens with the basketball over from the right side. Looks for Dellinger. Dellinger was streaking up. It's a turnover. Mountain View's had a few inopportune turnovers late in games throughout the season. This is one of them. Almost 3 minutes into the Big Country Properties 4th. A score here by Cokeville really adds an exclamation on, makes that turnover sting just a little bit more. Wing 3 ball missed by Barnes. Rebound Nate. She steps through against Henstra, and they do score, and it's a 2-point game. Camille Nate up to 18 points in the contest. 43-41 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 4:41 left in the contest in regulation. Last time these two teams played a month and a half ago, we went to double overtime. 66-60 the final in that one. Stevens tries to work in, gets a double clutch shot, misses. Henstra rebound, shot is up. No good, but a whistle blown. Has to be a shooting foul. Lily Richardson, the offender. 2 shots. And Bailey Henstra back to the free throw line. The last time we saw her in action, last game we brought you was against Pinedale, and in that contest, she went 4 of 4 from the free throw stripe in the 4th period. Makes her first free throw here. She's 2 of 2 in the game. We talked post-game to head coach Jess Moretti about the free throw shooting of Bailey Henstra as she continues to work that upward. She's up to about 40% now. Takes the second shot, misses long. Rebound, Casey Bugis. She got the rebound over 2 5'9" players in Lily Richardson and Camille Nate, and she is fouled. Team foul number 7. That's free throws, 1 and 1. Single bonus time for Mountain View. Bailey Henstra out of the game, replaced by Emily Bugis. Joined on the court, of course, by Casey shooting. Sadie Mitchell, Haley Stevens, and Kylie Dellinger. Those foul number 1 on Camille Nate. Free throw by Casey. It's a big one. It misses. Free throw shooting can close this game out or keep it alive. It's a 3-point game. Kylie Dayton out left side. Fake shot by Barnes, back to the elbow. Gives it to Dayton. Long 2 from the sideline. Missed. Dellinger had the board in her hands. Ball down to the ground. Emily Bugis tied up with Nate. Jump ball called. Possession arrow is pointing Mountain View's way. I thought they got the last one, though. Stays with Mountain View. 44-41 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Slow it up for Mountain View across the timeline. Haley Stevens takes about 7 seconds to get it across. Stevens to Dellinger at the top of the key. Under 4 to play in the Big Country Properties fourth period. One possession game here. Casey Bugas has the basketball, puts the rock on the ground, then works to her right. Puts a little speed on it. Out to Dellinger. Corner 3 is airballed. Dayton has the basketball, throws up ahead and over the head of Barnes. She grabs it back. Stevens from behind got a hand on it, forcing the miss, but a late foul call puts Barnes on the free throw line, and that's Stevens' third. 3:40 left in the fourth quarter. A little eye roll from Haley Stevens on that foul call. Barnes on her first, misses. Time for a quick update across the MyLocalRadio.com network. Star Valley, as of last check, was up by, I think, 7 points. As I take a look, we're at commercial break right now. I think it was 27-21 late in the second or early in the, I think it was early in the third, rather. Jada Kennison gets the rebound as she makes her first appearance on the second free throw miss. First appearance of the day and just the 7th Mountain View buff to come into the game. Haley Stevens on the bench, and that's the reason for Kennison to come in. Up top, Dellinger out to the left side. Bugas fakes a 3 at the left corner. Back up top to Dellinger. Throws right side. Kennison can't handle the pass. Too hard from Dellinger. 44-41, back to Cokeville. And never mind, that was the 4th foul on Haley Stevens. As I look to that board, I missed one somewhere along the way. So that's a big reason why she's out right now. Up by 3. They're going to hold off as we had overtime last time. If it comes down to a single possession, maybe the last minute or so, we expect to see Haley back in. Tana Tykert opened up from the left block, gets the pass from Harmon, misses it though, and a loose ball rebound foul. I think it's against Cokeville. Second foul on Tana Tykert. $44-41 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And since that's team foul number 8 on Cokeville, single bonus. A loose ball foul leads to Sadie Mitchell at the line. And we mentioned the big free throws. Casey Bugas missed the front end of a 1-and-1, so took away 2 potential points. Sadie Mitchell in the exact same situation now, sitting 27-44 at the free throw line this season, a 61% shooter. Emily Bugas out of the game, and Haley Stevens checks back in at 3:02 left in the fourth period with 4 fouls. Emma Tykert in as well for Cokeville. Mitchell takes the first and misses it. Rebound, Dellinger. Back to Mitchell at the free throw line. She takes one dribble, drives in, blocked by Barnes. Block steal, back Cokeville's way. Tykert bounces it off the body of Bugas and out of bounds, looking for Lily Richardson. Clock stopped at 2:52 in the Big Country Properties fourth period. 44-41 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View, the road team, they lost last time on their home court to Cokeville, trying to repay the favor here. Tykert at the left wing takes the inbound pass back up top to Dayton. 2:45 left in the contest. Jada Kennison staying into the game and guarding Dayton tightly. Throw down low. Kennison gave her a step though. Dayton misses the layup. Knocked out of bounds. Harmon had it poked out from behind, so it stays with Cokeville. Here comes Emily Bugas. I would imagine it's for Kennison. That is the call. A sophomore in for a freshman. But the Bugas sisters already seem like seasoned vets, and that's one thing Coach Moretti said post-game or pregame today. Some of these younger girls have had to learn to be leaders. You may be a sophomore, but we're looking for leadership. An overthrown inbound pass was not touched in the front court, so Lily Richardson is allowed to bring it back up across after collecting it in the back court. 2.5 minutes to go. Cokeville basketball down by 3. Barnes on the left wing throws down low. Casey Bugas steals it away. It was intended for Harmon, and Bugas cut off the lane and took the basketball away. 44-41. Haley Stevens with it out to the right side. Emily Bugas takes the pass. It was more of a handoff, really, and then another handoff to Dellinger. Same thing back to Haley Stevens. 2:05 left in the Big Country Properties fourth period. Stevens jump stops, gives off to Casey Bugas, gets a screen around from Emily. Cokeville at 8 fouls and playing tough defense. Any foul leads to 1-and-1 free throws. A timeout taken by Coach Moretti, and Mountain View will take it with them. 41. 1:55 left in the Big Country Properties fourth period. A full timeout taken. We'll be back on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
Coach Moretti took the timeout with 1:55 left in the fourth period, brought to you by Big Country Properties. Mountain View breaks the huddle first and has its 4 players out on the court, standing on each corner of the free throw line. Dellinger next to the basket on the near side. Bugus just behind her. And then at the free throw line on the left and right elbow, it's Sadie Mitchell and Haley Stevens. The inbounder is Emily Bugus. 5 players for Cokeville back out onto the court. And the throw in is knocked immediately back out of bounds, intended for Haley Stevens, knocked out by Barnes. 1 second is all that comes off the clock. Bugus takes the inbound again. She'll be guarded by Dayton. Harmon Tykert. And, Camille Nate and Emmy Barnes out on the court for Cokeville defending. Casey Bugus spins around at the right wing, and 5 seconds called against Casey Bugus. Emma Tykert on the defense. Well, a big turnover there, and one you don't see too much. As Bugus was working around, Tykert kept that 5-second clock ticking. Moving from left to right, it's Kylie Dayton with the basketball. Cokeville down just 1 possession, and Barnes to Nate. In the blocks. It was an assist by Tykert to Camille Nate. She's up to, I think, 20 points in the game. Had 12 at the half, up to 8. Yep, that's 20 points for Camille Nate. It's 44-43 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View basketball. Casey Bugus, hand back to Kylie Dellinger. Let's see if we're headed for extra minutes again tonight, just as we were the last time these two teams played. Dellinger takes a handoff from Bugus and gets hit by Dayton to the free throw line. That's foul number 9, last of the single bonus. So for Dellinger, she needs to make this here to have the chance of making any points. It's a 1-point advantage. Dellinger 57% at the season from the line. Free throw is made. Fourth quarter shooting has been a little spotty up to that point. Sadie Mitchell and Casey Bugus had both prior missed front ends of the 1-and-1. Dellinger goes 2 of 2 from the line this time. 46-43. We mentioned on the season, Cokeville came into the game with just 17 three-pointers on the season. One of those three-pointers sent them to overtime back on December 13th against Mountain View. A timeout taken by Mountain View. Let's go ahead. If you weren't watching pregame, let's go ahead and show you that right now, just how this game got to overtime last time they played back on December 13th. 50-47 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville has Riley Tykert inbounding. Dayton closest to the ball. Hannah Tykert at the free throw line. Let's see, here comes the screen to open up Dayton. Well, she's not open. Instead, it's to the right corner. And for 3, Riley Tykert. At the end, it falls at the buzzer. A 3-ball counts, and Cokeville ties it up. Well, Riley Tykert is not available this time as she's got stress fractures in her foot and will be out until regionals. But nonetheless, Emmy Barnes has picked up the slack in the three-point shooting today. That was Cokeville's first 3-ball of that contest. They have 2 today, both by way of Emmy Barnes back in the third period. She hit to respond to 3 balls, first by Emily Bugas and then 1 to respond by Casey Bugas. As a whole, the Bugas sisters accounted for 12 points in the third period, all from distance. And Emily finished with 6 in the quarter. Casey hit a pair of free throws as well, so she's sitting at 8. 46-43. Back out of the break, 1:06 left in the fourth quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties. Cokeville basketball down a possession. See if they drew something up here to maybe try and open one up from distance again. Bounce pass out to Barnes, back to Tykert. She'll try a triple, misses off to the left. Through the legs of Harmon. Dellinger's tied up on the ground with a jump ball called between her and Barnes. Possession arrow Cokeville. They keep a hold of it. 54 seconds left. Baseline inbound, Dayton catch and shoot from distance. It's long. Haley Stevens rips down the rebound. She's playing. Stevens is with 4 fouls. Going from right to left across the timeline. Stevens hands off to Mitchell. Onus is now on Cokeville to get a foul, come up with a steal, something. Mountain View holding on to the ball and hopefully for them trying to get fouled. Timeout taken by Coach Moretti. We'll take it with them. Fourth quarter action, 46 for Mountain View, 43 for the homestanding Cokeville Panthers on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
46-43 on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. We welcome you back to Cokeville High School. Mountain View on top and with the ball. 33 seconds left on the clock. Mountain View, we mentioned they missed the front end of 2 1-and-1 free throw opportunities by Mitchell and Bugas. But Kylie Dellinger most recently went 2 of 2 from the line, and all fouls from here on out result in 2 free throws for Mountain View. Inbound to Stevens. She gets it at the midline. Drives around to the left side, picks it up on the corner. 26 seconds left. Casey Bugas is fouled by Tykert. She's back to the line. 2 of 3 from the line today is Casey. Went 2 of 2 in the third quarter. Missed that front end we were just talking about midway through the fourth quarter. Mountain View put up 23 points in quarter number 3. It's been a little slow rolling for them here in the fourth quarter. They have yet to score a field goal. It's all been from the free throw line. Bugas makes her first. They've scored now 6 points in the quarter. 24 seconds on the clock. It's up to a 2-possession game. Bugas on the second is in. 5-point lead, 48-43 on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. To the right side, Tykert to Dayton. She'll think about one on the wing. Down to 15 seconds left. 2 possessions, got to do something. Down low to Nate, she converts. 22 points for Camille Nate, and the timeout taken immediately by Cokeville. We'll take it with them. See if it's a 30-second or a full. It's a 30. Back in after 1 break on the First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
48-45 on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. Eyes must be deceiving me. I was either seeing 43 on the board after last time and they added 2 points, or I just flat out missed that prior. Yeah, it looks like it's always oh no, after the make by Nate. There we go. It was the make and then the timeout. I get confused with those after sometimes. 11 seconds left. Haley Stevens takes the inbound and off the ball foul. Camille Nate knocks down Casey Bugas. That was right at the jump circle. Puts Bugas at the line with 9 seconds. She can just about ice it with a free throw make. And the foul is not against Bugis, although she went tumbling down to the ground, or it's not on. It's put Stevens to the free throw line. She hits her first. Quiet second half for Haley after 15 points in the first, but cannot underestimate. Stevens had 15 of the 18 first half points for Mountain View, kept them in this game and allowed them to control a lead. A 2-2 trip. 6 seconds left. Dayton drives into the lane, has the ball knocked out of her hands. Cokeville basketball, but 3 seconds left. 50-45, Mountain View will earn their 11th victory of the season, barring a crazy, somehow 5-point play. 3 ball by Tykert. It's good as Dellinger went somersaulting backwards down to the ground to avoid fouling, but it's all Mountain View at the end. 50-48, the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board, a 2-point differential, but Mountain View does it this time in regulation. We'll take a break, come back with post-game stats next on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Camera's been cut out. We appreciate the Cokeville High School broadcasting class for helping us out with the broadcast today. But we'll be black the rest of the way. That's okay. Post game here. Mountain View comes away victorious, 50-48, the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. A tight one that Mountain View took control of in the second half after Cokeville had a 2-point lead going into the break. A 23-point quarter was led by the 3 balls of Emily and Casey Bugis, and that's why they are today's recipients, co-recipients of the Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game. Mountain View, as we mentioned pregame, if they could get anything going from distance, that's what gave them an advantage last time, albeit in a loss. It was a 3 ball at the very end of that game that we showed you that even got Cokeville to overtime. If they got that going a little bit from distance, well, then they maybe have an advantage today, and they hit 4, all of them in 1 quarter, but they outshot Cokeville. 4 made threes to 2 made threes. They also did better at the free throw line today, and all of their points, all 9 of their points in the quarter came from the line. They shot 9 of 12. My unofficial math tells me that's about 75% from the free throw line in the 4th quarter, so that's good enough to get you the win as well. They had to make free throws, and they did. Haley Stevens leads the way with 21 points for Mountain View, followed by Casey Bugis with 10 off the bench. 8 by Bailey Henstra, 7 by Emily Bugis, and then 2 each by Kylie Dellinger and Sadie Mitchell. Mountain View really just plays 6. Jada Kennison came in after Haley picked up her 4th foul in the 4th quarter for a few minutes, but other than that, it was 6 players going in and out for each other the rest of the way for Mountain View. Cokeville ran a tight rotation as well. Really just saw 7 players play today for Cokeville with the starting 5 and then Tana Tykert and Harley Harmon off the bench. They're led by Camille Nate, who returned last week and was not available last time these two teams played. She had 22, all but one of them coming in the painted area. She had one mid-range shot from the baseline. Other than that, it was all inside, and she's certainly going to do good things for Cokeville the rest of this season in her senior campaign. Cokeville drops to 11-2 on the year. Mountain View up to 11-4. As we mentioned, Camille Nate leading the way with 22 points, 10 points by Emmy Barnes for Cokeville, 7 from Emma Tykert, 3 by Kylie Dayton, 4 from Lily Richardson, and 2 by Harley Harmon. We'll close it out right there. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. Again, thanks to Bill Thompson and the broadcasting class for bringing you video coverage today here on MyLocalRadio.com. Just before we go, one last update on the MyLocalRadio.com network. 36-29, Evanston trails Star Valley late, about 3 minutes into the 4th period. And that's a doubleheader game. Boys action after that. If you're interested in watching more basketball, you can catch that one either on MyLocalRadio.com or SVI Media with the live stream multi-camera setup. The boys will be coming up after that. We will be back with more Bridger Valley action this coming Saturday. 3 o'clock and 4:30, Lyman takes on Wyoming Indian in an annual interclassification rivalry. Until then, I'm Jake Hibbard. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media. Today's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive of Mountain View Buffaloes Athletics. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Mountain View broadcasts, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Buffs!